The Huskies are coming off a huge weekend sweep against the 5th-ranked Mavericks of Omaha as they continue to climb in the NCAA pairwise. Hello and welcome to another week of the St. Cloud State Husky Hockey Weekend Preview. I'm your host, Taylor Budge. Now it was an action-packed weekend here at the Brooks Center as the Huskies swept a top 5-ranked opponent at home for the second time this season. They were able to get it done starting on Friday night with Ethan Crow getting on the board with his 3rd goal of the season off the power play, and Patrick Russell was able to add to that lead 4 minutes later. Omaha would go on a 3-goal run to take the lead in the 3rd, but Blake Winegi and David Morley scoring 2 goals in 16 seconds helped bring the Huskies back Friday with a 4-3 win. Saturday was a different story with Charlie Lindgren stopping all 21 Maverick shots, as well as Nate Widman and Jimmy Murray lighting the lamp to give the Huskies their 3rd sweep of the season with a 2-0 shutout on Saturday. After another thrilling week in the NCHC, there's only one team on top of the conference as UND currently sits in first with 41 points after coming off a weekend sweep against Western Michigan. Miami is only 1 game out as they sit with 38 points. The Red Hawks will be taking on Denver this weekend, who is right below them in the standings with 35. St. Cloud State still sits in 6th in the conference, but has continued to move up points-wise, winning 3 straight games as the Huskies are coming closer to finishing in the top 4 as they now have 31 points. As we approach March, all eyes are now shifting to the pairwise. At the end of the season, the top 16 teams in the pairwise advance to the NCAA tournament. After the sweep against Omaha, the Huskies now sit at 14th. 5 other NCHC teams sit above that line as well, and 7 of the Huskies' opponents from this season. Unfortunately, the Huskies' schedule doesn't get any easier as they make their late season push. This week's opponent, number 1, North Dakota. This is the second time this season that these two teams have faced off in a weekend series, with SCSU and UND splitting back in November at the Brooks Center. North Dakota is leading the season by their powerful offense that is 7th in the nation, averaging 3.4 goals a game, led by Drake Kajula, Mark McMillan, and Michael Parks. Kajula and Parks' 31 points on the season put them in 2nd in the NCHC. Kajula is on a 4-game point streak and is coming off a weekend with a pair of goals at Western Michigan. Jordan Schmaltz has had a solid first year for UND as well, as he is 8th in the nation for points per game among defensemen, as well as 9th for rookie points. St. Cloud State has continued to impress fans going into the second to last week of the regular season. The Huskies have won 5 of their last 6 and continue to play phenomenal against top-ranked opponents. The Huskies have been dominant on their power play after having 2 power play goals against Omaha last weekend. They are currently ranked 3rd in the nation for their 23.4% conversion rate. Johnny Brodzinski leads the nation with 10 power play goals on the year. Brodzy and Joey Bennett continue to lead the team this season as they both sit with 29 points. Bennett also has 13 points in his last 8 games. If we're talking about point streaks, you can't forget about David Morley. His game-winning goal on Friday brings him to 12 on the season. Huskies are still a perfect 9-0 when Morley finds the back of the net. He also has at least a point in 7 of his last 8 games. Freshman Patrick Russell has been a big threat along Joey Bennett and Kalle Kosula. The Denmark native sits tied for 8th in the nation with 7 power play goals and is tied for 3rd in team points with 23. A huge contributor to North Dakota's success this season has come from in between the pipes from junior Zane McIntyre, who has had another phenomenal season. His 22 wins of the year put him in 1st in the NCHC and 2nd with his 1.96 goals against average. He is also 8th in the nation with his save percentage. McIntyre is coming off a great weekend against Western Michigan, where he saved 67 shots and went on to be honored as this week's NCHC Goaltender of the Week. And for the Huskies, Charlie Lindgren has been hot as of late. He has 3 straight wins and picked up his 2nd shutout of the season on Saturday night. Lindgren currently sits 4th in the NCHC with 12 wins on the year and sits steady with his .916 save percentage. The St. Cloud State women's hockey team will also be in action this weekend as they take part in the first round of the WCHA tournament out in Madison. The Huskies were able to pull off the upset on Friday night, so hopefully they can do the same in the WCHA tournament. While the women are in action, the men will be up in Grand Forks taking on the University of North Dakota. Puck drop for Friday's game is set for 7:37. You can catch that game on the CBS Sports Network. Saturday's game starts at 7 o'clock. You can catch that on Fox College Sports as well as NCHC.TV. The Huskies will be back here at the Brooks Center next weekend to close out the regular season against Denver. Tickets are still available for that series and all St. Cloud State events. You can purchase those 24 hours a day by visiting SCSUtickets.com. And fans, be sure to go out and continue to vote for St. Cloud State junior Johnny Brodzinski for the 2015 Hobie Baker Award. You can cast your vote daily by visiting HobieBaker.com. That wraps up this week's edition of the St. Cloud State Husky Hockey Weekend Preview. I'm Taylor Budge, and we'll catch you next week for the University of Denver Preview.